don't bother making the dough anymore. I buy pizza dough from the grocery. I've had this set out for a few hours so it would get nice and soft. I floured a space where I'm going to make the little balls. I flour here, quite a bit of flour because it's quite wet. I'm going to stretch it out so I can cut the pieces. Usually out of a pound of dough, I get 5 or 6. Cut it in 5, but they're probably a little bit big, so I'll take some out as I do it. What I'm doing is taking my hand and rolling it along so that we're closing up all the dough on the bottom. And then I twist and take a pinch off. Again, flouring it and setting it aside. I don't put flour on the wet ends. I fold them in so that they'll stay and stick together and make a nicer ball. I'm going to get 12 out of these 2 pounds. This is the last one. Now I take a dry towel. Some people use a damp towel, and I just cover it and leave it rest for a little bit, and then they will re-rise. Now I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and put it in the bowl because I'm going to prepare my pans. I'm just taking a little bit of olive oil and brushing it onto my cookie sheets, and then it'll be ready. As you can see, they've all risen to double their size. I always have a large spoon, and my measurement is 1 large spoon per ball. 2. Then I just add the olive oil. I use extra virgin olive oil. As you can see, I need more. It's too dry. If you put too little, it just kind of crumbles and comes off of the dough. So it really takes a lot of oil. When I make the Za'atar, I add a little citric acid. The one I buy is kind of bland, so I add a little bit of citric acid and sesame seeds, more sesame seeds. That's how I like it. It's getting a little better, just a little bit more oil, and it'll be plenty. Okay, now it's nice and moist, mushy. And we're ready to go. Now, I take the balls and I just press them out a little bit. Flour both sides. I can get 6 in each tray. As you can see, I use my hand. I don't use a rolling pin for this because, you know, you don't really need to. I'm just pressing it out. Now while those sit a little bit, you see how they shrunk up? So I'll just press them a little bit more, let them sit a few seconds while I turn on the oven. Alright, I'm turning my oven on. I'm going to put it on 375 because with the bread it needs a little bit more heat. Now back to the dough. I'll take and put a spoonful on each dough. And then I'm just going to spread it out. I like to take it right to the ends. Lay them in the tray. Okay, I'm on the last one now. Just spreading it out. I don't know if you noticed before, but I'm actually pressing the Za'atar into the dough with my fingers. It helps it stay on better, and it gets into the bread. The oven's ready. I'm now going to press them down a little bit more in the pan because they have shrunk up. And I'm going to take a fork and prick them 3-4 times. Then you won't get all the little bubbles in the dough. They'll stay nice and flat. Here we are, it's ready for the oven. Okay, my oven's set for 375. And I'll set my timer for about 15 minutes. Just checking. They probably need another minute or so. Just checking again, see if they're baked enough. They look pretty good to me. They're pretty firm. They're baked. Take it out and let it set. Turn off the oven because it's a warm day. There we are.